welcome to What's Growin On. I guess you could kind of say this is What's Growin On 1.0 or What's Growin On Reboot. For those of you that don't know who I am or maybe remember me and want to refresh your memory of me, I'm Jayne Spooner and I'm a University of Minnesota Master Gardener here in Rice County. And about 9 years ago, I kind of signed off for the last time with What's Growin On, as I had been your What's Growing On host for about 10 years. And the reason I had done it was I wanted to watch something else grow, and that was a new grandson. Well, let's fast forward 9 years and see all the changes that have happened in my life. So, as you can see, 1 has now become 4. Elliot is now 9. He has a little sister named Haley, who's 4. And they are joined by cousin Adeline and her little sister Ella Rose, who's 9 months old. So this is one busy grandma. But another new chapter of my life opened up, and I have since retired a few weeks ago. So I have a little bit more time, and Troy Temple approached me about possibly doing a nice standalone garden program, because the gardening industry is just exploding with everybody wanting to grow their own vegetables, you know, to become more healthier, introduce children to gardening so that we better their diets. And there's a huge craze in pollinators. As we know, pollinators is a huge issue here in the United States and all over, because if we don't have bees, we can't pollinate to get our vegetables and fruits. And if you have done any studying of pollinators, bees will pollinate everything from apples to zinnias, and so they're an important part. So there's a lot out there, and along with pest management, there's always some kind of a new pest coming out. The latest one, of course, being the emerald ash borer and Japanese beetles. So what is this new program going to be about? So we're going to see what's trending in the garden industry. Our show is probably going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be kind of a standalone program, so it's going to be a little bit longer. We're going to still continue to do some demos, but with having a little bit longer program, we're going to be able to go a little bit more in depth into some of the things that we're going to be doing. Possibly do some garden tours. This is Faribault, folks. This is Faribault Community TV. It's not Minneapolis Community TV. And, I've consulted with a lot of people, asking me questions about container gardening or their own gardens or whatever. And it's always nice to see a finished product. And not only for myself just to see the finished product of the advice that I've given, but also to just maybe get a couple of ideas for my own garden, because my garden is ever evolving. I also would like to take a look at the history of some of the Faribault gardens. We do have a rich history here. It's sad we lost one of our longest and oldest businesses with Farmer Seed and Nursery, but we'd certainly like to maybe delve into a little bit of that history. There's been a lot of questions concerning an article that was just written about the brand Peony Farm. There's a lot of people that don't know it exists, and even some of the gardening things that go on here in Faribault with clematis production. We have another individual that developed a new arborvitae, so maybe we'll be interviewing some of those folks. So it might not just always be demonstrations, but we're going to talk to the people of Faribault, and we're looking for your ideas. So get a hold of us at FCTV, and if there's something that might pique your interest, or you think it's going to pique the interest of other individuals in Faribault, hey, bring it on. We're open to suggestions. This is Faribault Community TV. This isn't just me TV. So what am I doing today? So I'm here, of course, talking to you, getting reacquainted with you. But it's that time of year when we're getting ready to do some garden planning. Garden planning is important and essential because, as they say, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. And garden plans don't need to be huge, large projects. It can be a simple notebook as this. I take pictures of certain things in my garden. if I've liked a container or what I did, how I did it. So it just kind of makes me remember from time to time and year to year what I've done in certain things and what didn't and didn't work. So it's just a matter of just a simple notebook just like this. A big part of my plan this year is the fact that I'm redoing my vegetable gardens in my backyard. And I have a very supportive husband whom I love very much. And we're redoing some raised vegetable beds for our backyard. We bought some corrugated steel garden frames, and he is building the bases so that they're raised up a little bit more because, yeah, the old back just doesn't take crawling around in the garden as much. So, and I guess aesthetically pleasing for our backyard too, to add a little bit of kind of classiness back there. And I'm always picking up and looking through some of my favorite garden magazines. Minnesota Gardener is fabulous. It comes out 6 times a year, and it's based on a lot of things around Minnesota gardening. Country Gardens, there's other garden magazines. And you know, there's good information in there. It's not always to our zone and everything, but it also gives you ideas of how you might want to set up your garden or things that you might want to do, adding different art pieces to your garden, or whether you're a formal gardener or like me, I'm just kind of very whimsical. I use a lot of what I call planted junk, and I plant in just about anything that will hold dirt. So that's kind of fun. And then of course, seed catalogs. Now, I get about 30 seed catalogs every season, and they start about January, just as we get through the holiday slump. And I can kind of take a look. Now, I'm not the type of person that will order plants exactly through the mail, and that's kind of a matter of choice. I'm the type of person that likes to go see, touch, feel, smell. But it gives you, lots of times there's really good information in the catalogs. I do some seeds, so these are a great source if you want something a little different and can't find it in your garden stores. There's one in particular here that I'm really excited about. Planting is some different colored zinnias for my garden because those are great pollinators. And so I'm looking forward to getting some of those in my garden. And also, I take a look if I want to replace a tree or a shrub. I grab some of my gardening books and take a look at what I need to change. And that's one of the reasons that you have your garden plan. So you can kind of jot down what worked last year and what didn't. So these are some of the things I'm doing right now. It kind of keeps you busy. It kind of keeps your mind off the weather. I'm getting a lot of questions right now is, can I go and rake my lawn? Can I start doing this? Are my tulips that were coming up going to be okay when it gets cold or we get any snow? And first of all, don't start raking just yet until you can walk in your yard and not see a footprint. You know, just having a lot of rain, it's not going to be great. It's going to take a while to dry out. We're going to have to wait for some warm weather because you don't want to start raking when that grass is really wet because you're going to start pulling up all the great grass that's there. As far as tulips coming up right now, I can tell you they're fine. They're a cold weather plant. They come up, that's why they come up in the spring, so don't worry too much about them. I'd be more worried about deer and rabbits coming and eating the new growth, but you know, that's for another time and another story. And you know, if you do want to put a pop of color in your garden, you know, stop at your local greenhouse because the pansies are out and oh my gosh, they're gorgeous in colors of white, purple, yellow, orange. Add a pop of color. You can keep them in the house for a little while. You can put them out on the front porch on a great sunny day, and even they will withstand temperatures that are about 30 degrees at night. So a great way if you're really hankering to, you can either buy them already potted up or you can do your own container. So those are some of the things. So we've got some things in the plan, we got some things in the works. I'm really excited to be back and to share my love of gardening with you. Like I said, we're going to do some fun demonstrations. I'm currently working with a University of Minnesota soil scientist who's also a fellow master gardener and is from the Northfield area, to possibly do a nice segment on soil and soil testing. So, which we know that great soil is the building blocks to a great garden. So, thanks for watching. I'm really excited to be back and be part of your lives. And if you see me walking by on the street, feel free to stop by and say, hey, I really am happy to see you back. So, thanks a lot and happy digging, everyone.